Good morning again. Dan Alasso, Making History. It is day 37 in my retrenchment journey, and I think this will be a little bit brief. There are some things that will be going on later today. Today, the president of BSU is going to have a combined campus budget update virtual forum at 11 o'clock. That will be right after my morning class, so I will try to watch it from my office on campus. Hi, buddy. This is Mr. Toshi. Before my class, I will actually also be meeting with a colleague on Zoom who is an instructional designer working out of the system office. And lately she has begun doing some open education related work in the last year or two. And so we're going to compare notes. It's interesting that in a system like ours, with over 30 colleges and universities, there are a lot of silos still. People in different places may be working on similar projects and pursuing similar goals, but they don't necessarily know that there's someone else doing something similar. This limits our opportunities to share ideas, to support each other, to ask and answer questions, and to talk about our projects with somebody who would be interested. Not to mention, to collaborate. We end up reinventing a lot of wheels. Now, concurrent independent development can be useful. In biology, it tends to create adaptations that solve the same problem in different ways genetically and can reinforce each other when they ultimately do meet. It also creates a set of different solutions to the same problem, which technically you might call a set of local optima, right? Little hilltops that we can then look at to see which of them is actually higher. But on the downside, it can also add a lot of time and a lot of duplicated effort. And I think there's always a tension in a system like Minnesota State between centralization and campus autonomy. Partly this is due to our history. The campuses weren't established and built by the system. The system came later. Bemidji State University, for example, was first a normal school or a teacher training college when it opened in 1919. It had 124 women students and 6 men. It was the 6th of its kind, chartered by the state legislature as the population of Minnesota continued to grow and they needed more colleges for teachers. The Teachers College became a regular college, and then by 1975 it became a university. The Minnesota state system itself wasn't actually even created until the 90s. It was proposed in 1991 and finally implemented in about 1995. Before the merger, there were the 7 universities. They already existed. There were also 34 technical colleges and 21 community colleges. Now, since then, the 7 universities have persisted. Many of the technical and community colleges have been consolidated over time. So now there are 26 college systems, although there are about 54 overall campuses in the state. So there is this long tradition of financial and academic autonomy, right? And there's a lot of sensitivity at the system office to this and to trying to avoid giving the impression that they're dictating to the campuses from St. Paul. And there's probably some backstory to that as well that I'm not going to dig into, where they've tried to do coordination and been pushed back on. I'm not suggesting that the campuses and the faculty on them shouldn't have some measure of academic freedom or license to customize their programs to meet their particular competencies or the needs of their particular region. But it does strike me that we're not taking nearly as much advantage of opportunities to coordinate and to enhance local efforts. And I think that more focus on the students and creating outcomes that will benefit them, and less focus on fighting over who gets to be the boss and whether or not my decisions are questioned by somebody else, someplace else, especially where the money is coming from and where the money is accounted for. I think those are less important, and it's unfortunate that sometimes we focus on them a bit too much. So I'm going to work towards finding ways to, rather than force people into this, to actually kind of sell people on this idea that if we coordinate and if we work together, then good things will happen that will raise all of our boats, and especially and most importantly will benefit the students. So I'll let you know how that goes. In the meantime, thanks for watching this brief update. Have a good day, and I will see you again tomorrow.